Hey, Stabby. Love your stuff. Just calling for a voice of reason here. I've been dating a girl for about 7 years now. We've been dating since college. I'm 27 now.
Ooh.
And she's great. Like, I want to spend the rest of my life with her. She's, hot, fit, super ambitious for a woman.
For a woman.
But recently I got a...
Holy fuck.
I can't wait to see where this one
When
goes.
she makes apple pie, she does that little lattice shape with the top. She doesn't just go open. She doesn't just crumble it. She really does the braid, the really nice
Her
braid.
idea of ambition is she wants to have all the Maybelline lipstick shades.
Okay.
Super ambitious for a woman.
She never looks at the milkman.
I brought up, marriage. And she was a little hesitant, and I was not expecting that at all. We've been dating for 7 years. We're very serious. We trust each other with everything. And, when I asked her why she was hesitant, she was like, well, you kind of just need to be growing up a little bit more than you are right now.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, what do you mean? And it turns out that, well, I guess I need to preface that I'm kind of a nerd. I play a lot of World of Warcraft. I love Crunchyroll. I'm just really tuned into anime, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And she thought I was going to get over that stuff, I guess. Word for word, she said, I thought that those were just college things.
Oh, wow.
And that
You gotta love
triggered
the
me.
patience of
But,
a woman waiting
again,
a full doctorate degree for this guy to give up his interest.
When are the gay Japanese cartoons going to end? Watch The Sopranos.
You can't turn a troll to a housewife. That's what we're doing here.
Okay.
And that triggered me. But, again, I love her, willing to get over that, willing to, get rid of those things in my life. But where
That's
I
huge.
draw the line is my Warhammer 40K collection.
Okay.
I've spent hours on hours painting this collection. I've spent over thousands of dollars, on this collection, and this is one of the things that she just doesn't want around the house. And, I kind of get it, right? Like, at some point, we just need to be tuned in with reality, I guess. But, like, I don't really want just some vanilla, everyday suburban home without a Warhammer 40K set or, some Doom posters around the wall. I think this is kind of who I am. So I'm kind of at a conundrum here. And I could really, use your opinion on, do I get rid of my girlfriend or do I get rid of my Warhammer 40K collection?
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome question, man. Thank you for putting it in those terms. You make a good point, Mike, where it's like, yeah, she's waiting for him to become a different person.
Totally.
And I think, he's already shown, in my opinion, he showed some, he's kind of taking the correct tact where it's like compromise, right?
Totally, yeah.
Like, he's like, look, there's certain things I get. I'll get rid of these things, but this really matters to me. Now, there might be a further compromise where you can maybe have even a little more of your nerd shit. Like, this is a classic. It's not classic. It's actually it's a new generation's version of this. But this is why the concept of the man cave was created. It's not sports because you're a fucking dork. You know what I mean? It's not like cool recliners to smoke cigars on. It's fucking ergonomic chairs to paint fucking king orc crowns, right? But you should be able to have your own little spot where you do gay shit away from away from your wife. And so maybe that's it. Maybe that's like, because here's the other thing, dude. Whether it was Warhammer 40K or whether it's just like having an old recline, shitty furniture or posters, it's like, you guys know when you're in a fucking relationship with a woman, you're not decorating the way you would if you were fucking living with your bros.
Right.
They get to decorate.
Yeah.
They are the ones who care way more about what they look, for the most part, we're generalizing here, but with this guy for sure, he would fucking have a beanbag chair in the middle of his fucking living room.
Yeah.
He would have just desks that he could game from all over in every room. But like, that's also compromise of like, and that's also part of the problem of being in one relationship from the time you're fucking 20.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen that this is kind of what relationships are. You do have to be like, you do kind of have, there's certain things you have to give in on and you have to, and so it's more important to certain people. So
You're going to have to use negotiation, not war. This Cold War can't go hot. You got to make deals.
I think I don't know why I'm reacting so harsh to her, like not liking the things he likes.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's something to say about, also there are other people out there that might like exactly who you are.
Sure, that's
and
a good
are
point.
super into the stuff you're into.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah.
Like, it depends what's important to you, because like there sometimes that can be too much, right?
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to end up with someone that loves all the same shit I do.
Totally.
You know what I mean? I like someone that balances me out. Like, I don't need to. At the same time, it would be kind of cool. I guess it just matters on the person, right?
Yeah.
It can work either way.
Doesn't like most things that bring me joy.
Yeah.
She's cool about keeping them in the house because they make me happy.
Right.
And it's also like I'm the person that she loves.
Yeah.
So if I'm happy, that benefits her as well. So that don't get rid of your Warhammer.
Yeah. I also think it goes both ways, right? They both don't really understand how relationships work because they've been together since college, and she's not really. I kind of empathize with her. I empathize with both of them because if you want to just be who you are fully at all times, you just want to be a super turbo dork. You can do that. You can there are plenty of women who are into that kind of thing, right?
Totally. You do have to assume, like, if she's like not that at all, and she goes out with her friends, and they're like, "How's he do? Like, is he still wearing cargo shorts with a braided belt and tivas?"
Well, let's also get into this. She's hot, right? Didn't he start by saying how hot she was?
I think so.
The first two things he says were hot and fit.
Yeah.
Before he gets into ambitious for a woman, hysterical stuff.
She doesn't have appropriate ambitions like collecting a Warhammer figurines.
So, because look, those women exist. They're into your dork stuff, but the hottest ones, you ain't getting them. Yeah. You ain't getting someone as hot into your shit, and you have to decide what's important to you.
Yep.
And honestly, there's nothing wrong with keeping certain things for the boys and keeping certain things for, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what it is, man. You have to do a calculus. And he also sounds like he says he wants to spend the rest of his life with her. Yeah. Whatever. So yeah, dude, if that's how it is, then compromise, keep the shit. I think a little, you don't want a suburban house without Warhammer stuff. What about a regular suburban house that's 80% normal, and then 20% is your little dork dungeon that you get to fucking hang out in, and maybe she gets her own spot, her
Take
own little
the deal.
I say, if I'm this guy,
well, and I know dudes are like, oh, so you only get that much of your house? It's like, I don't need more than that. Yeah. Like, a house is too much for me. I don't want that responsibility.
100%.
I want a room.
It's also nice to be in a nice place.
Totally.
If I was in charge of a house, it wouldn't be nice. No. Like I got a place in Baltimore. I have asked women what to put in my house. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it were up to me, it would just be like...
I've never decorated a place that I lived in without a girl.
No, you need...
There was a massive difference between my Elmhurst, Queens apartment in 2008 to then the apartment I shared with my gonna-be wife in 2010. Right. I had piles of clothes. I had a bag of laundry on the balcony of my apartment that I didn't open for 18 months. Yeah. And I opened it, and there was like a living ecosystem. It was fucked up, but it was like assassin living, like uncovered lights, the whole thing. And it's like, I don't want to go back to that, man.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, he's already shown some that he's willing to. Because here's how this ends: if you really take a hardline stance. You're playing Warhammer with a fucking chunky 6. You know what I mean? Instead of just like sharing a home with a hot woman who's clearly too good for you.
That's right. Yeah, she just committed young. Yeah, imprinted upon her young.
That's the thing. You do not want her to test the open market. You got to sign, and I'm sorry I'm using sports analogies that you're not going to get. 100%. But you can't let her see free agency. You have to sign her to max extensions every time.
It's like if Luka discovers anything outside of Dallas, it's over.
You give her the no trade clause, whatever she wants to do, and that's really, when it really comes down to it, do whatever the fuck it takes to hang on. Is my advice to you personally, just as a guy.
Another sports analogy you're not going to get. You need to have a bend, don't break defense. Being in a relationship as a guy is all about protecting your dumb hobby. Mine is golf. That's my Warhammer. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Sometimes,
but I feel bad for this guy because I bet you this woman would have less of a problem with golf. She would be annoyed. she would be annoyed because he's still gone during the weekends or whatever. But it is more socially. So I feel for him in that he's being persecuted for being a dork. Totally. But that's a good sign. That means again you got a hotter woman than you have any right to be. The fact that she doesn't respect you fundamentally means this is a keeper. A woman who accepts you, you don't want.